Welcome to Jumpstart, a place to have conversation with entrepreneurs.
Mumbai, the city of dreams.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Jumpstart Season 1 Mumbai. Our today's episode is called Mind Your Mind. So we are going to talk about mental health. Mental health is very important. It's important for everyone. Hustlers, entrepreneurs, almost all of us go through challenges every day, and having a strong mind helps us go through those challenges easily. On that note, we have three young entrepreneurs who are running a podcast called Yours Mentally. One of the co-founders is with us today, Aman Jain. So Aman Jain is going to tell us a little about what his take is on mental health. Hi Aman, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you for inviting me, honestly. So you want to know about Yours Mentally, right?
Yes.
So we started Yours Mentally back in 2020, October, I'd say. But we started thinking of this since March of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so we put almost 7 to 8 months of thought into this. So this one day I was just walking on Seaface in Worli, and I was thinking, I want to do something, because I personally believe that my education to me is of no use if I can't really use it to make a change in, of course, the field that I'm studying. So I was thinking, and then I went home and I called my best friend, Ravish, at the time. And so at the time, I'll just give you a little backstory. I've been doing content for 6 years now, if you didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so in 2017, 2018, we used to make YouTube videos, these skits we used to make. At the time, we of course thought it was amazing, wow. But now that I look back, it's a little silly. But yeah, no, so we really enjoyed doing YouTube videos together, both of us. So I knew that if I wanted to start something else, I want to do it with him. And yeah, so I called him up and I was like, oh, we should start something, around mental health, because many people don't talk about it and all of that, right? So he's like, yeah, sure, let's do this. But then, of course, the main thing was, what do we do? So I was like, see, we've tried YouTube, failed. Okay, I mean, it is just the fact that we did fail at it. It didn't, I had to realistically tell myself that it's not going to work out for me. And so I was like, yeah, we failed YouTube. And I was like, now what's left? Podcast. I was like, let's just try it. We fail. We already failed before. We fail again. Big deal. So, yeah, we started the podcast. But then the thing was the idea. So I was like, you know what? Just we'll talk about mental health. But then Ravish came to me and he's like, why would someone want to listen to this? There is no credibility. What's the it factor over here? Why would someone want to listen to you? So I was like, yeah, fair enough. So I texted my school teacher, my school psychology teacher.
Okay.
So yeah, she's also my guru. I really look up to her. I texted her with my idea and what I wanted to do and all of that. And she was like, why don't you get mental health professionals on your podcast? That would be a good start. That would give you credibility and people would want to listen. Because also back then and even now, nobody is doing what we're doing. I know for a fact back then I did my research, nobody was doing what we did. So we were like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And then we started then that's when Tanisha came in. I texted her during online classes. So I've known Tanisha for 6 years, if you don't know.
Okay.
But I only started talking to her in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, properly talking to her. That's when I actually texted her for asking if she'd want to be part of the podcast. And yeah, she agreed to do that. And then that's when Tanisha came in, and then she actually found all the therapists that we work with. Even now, she's the one who finds all the therapists we work with. And then that's how the podcast came to life.
Wow. So Aman, one thing that I want to tell you is, especially at your age, because you guys have started pretty young, one thing that I want to give hats off to you guys is, at that age, it's very few that I know that have the courage to fail and then get up again and start doing. So it's a very good trait, and I feel very proud when you said that you were okay to fail again.
Yeah.
The part is that you're going to learn from it and you're going to do something new next.
Yeah.
So very nice.
Thank you.
Happy that young generation have that kind of grit they have, the kind of motivation to actually move ahead.
Thank you.
All right. So, Aman, you're in this with two other founders.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little about that?
So Tanisha is my other co-founder. She's also studying psychology right now. And like I said, I met her in 2020. Like I started talking to her in 2020, and her work at the podcast is basically the content writing. So
Okay.
if you've heard my episodes, or if anyone listening has heard my episodes, I ask questions to the mental health
Yes.
professionals. Right? That's what Tanisha writes. She writes those questions for
Oh,
me.
nice.
And even on the Be Yours Mentally Instagram, all the posts that are like on our account is also written by Tanisha. The content on for all the posts, like she writes all that, and just like writing, texting all the therapists that we work with. She's found all of them. It's
Really?
like yeah,
Wow.
I think we work with like 60 therapists. Yeah, she's found all of them, and essentially also keeping us together. I'd say.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's what Tanisha does. I think she like holds it together. She's like essentially a hero for me. I really look up to her because like she just never gives up. Like even when we have like bad phases, she's always like, no, let's get on with it. So that, and Daksh again, he's actually studying management studies.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's from Mumbai. His job is to make the posts on Instagram. So the
Okay.
designing of the post, that's what Daksh does. Then he also writes emails to brands. He looks after the ads that we put on our episodes, and just essentially coordinating with everything. And I'd say the business end of the podcast, that's what Daksh looks at.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's so good to see like three of y'all working together.
Yeah.
And I know that this journey, if you're alone in it, it's quite lonely, and
Yeah.
because all those hustles that you do can take a toll on your mind. And when you have such encouraging partners,
Yeah.
you can move a long way. Great. So that was about the founders of Yours Mentally. Now let's get to know a little more about Yours Mentally. So tell us about the growth phase of Yours Mentally. How many episodes have you guys done? What is the subscribers count?
So I think right now we're at like 84 episodes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Just close to 100 now.
Yeah. Subscribers, if you ask me, like in like all directories combined, followers, like podcasts are
Yes.
like followers, right? Around 60 to 70,000.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, like combining all directories. In terms of like just the listeners that come back and listen, I'd say 1.5 to 2 lakhs.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a great number.
And like our streams is like 500,000 around, like
Nice.
it's a little above 500,000. Yeah.
So, Aman, tell us about your audience. Who are your audience who come back for your show?
So mainly our audience is like people between the age of 18 to like 30.
Okay.
Like that's most of them. But also sometimes we have like older people who are listening to the podcast. And it's like a mixed crowd, I wouldn't say like it's only college kids or like it's only the old people. It's like a mixed crowd because then I also actually have parents who come up to me sometimes, yeah, and they're like, oh, we really appreciate you doing this. It helps us understand our children better, or like the problems that our children are going through. So it's a mixed crowd, but like again, I'd say most of them would be college kids.
Okay.
And then it's through the college kids that the audience increases. Like
Right.
they would probably like share it with their parents. I have had like my friends or like just strangers, come up to me and tell me that, or like text me and they're like, you know what, we found this helpful, and we get the courage to share it with our parents, and then now it's like they're understanding what we're going through and all those things. So I think our audience is mixed, if you ask me.
Nice. So I'm sure that messages like this must encourage you all the more to
A lot.
I'm sure as a founder, when you get to know that you're making change in somebody's life and you're making somebody happy, it gives you an inner satisfaction.
Yeah, and best feeling.
It
Honestly,
is.
yeah.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So about the growth phase, so we started this when we were 17, right? And as every 17-year-old, I had like very unrealistic dreams about this. So I was like, so back then the charts, like the podcast charts, number one was like Ranveer Alabadia. I'm pretty sure you've heard of him.
Yes.
Then there was like Sadhguru, there was Joe Rogan, and all
Yeah.
these people. And I swear I looked at it and I was like, then maybe. And I'll also
Nice.
be over there. I of course like it's like every person who started something that we will dream to be at the top of it, right?
Absolutely.
So I was like, even I'll get there one day, And of course the people around me like no, people wouldn't believe me because of course I tried YouTube and then I thought that YouTube would work out. It didn't work out so much. So like I'd say there was not a lot of people who believed that we would do it. Tanisha included, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, she wasn't like she was in this more for like learning and like growing through it.
Okay.
She was not so much into the, oh, where are we going to be in the charts? Like, but now if you look at it, she's more into it than I am.
Yes.
But like, no, back then she also like wasn't very like, oh yeah, we're going to like make it to the charts. No, it wasn't like that. It was just me and then also Ravish as well. And then yeah, so when we were 17, we just started it off right in October of 2020. Now this timeline is very important. In April of 2021,
Okay.
so that's like just 6 months in. I remember the date. I think it was 19th April, 13th April.
Okay.
We came in the charts like for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, we did
Wow.
at like position 169 or something. So that's 169th in India. And then, like just as the month progressed, like April to like that was start of April to like end of April, we were in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a nice job.
Yeah.
How did you guys manage to do that?
So I don't know. So April, for some reason, we just kept like going up the ranks. Like once we entered the charts, we just kept climbing the ranks. We'd not like fallen even once. And then I knew at the time, like in the top 10, we were the youngest, like in
Yeah.
India.
Yes.
And just getting like a number 1 in the charts was like that was the dream, because then that would be like a world record, the youngest in the world that would be, because I know nobody at that age would have like done it. But yeah, we climbed up the charts. We reached at number 2 at one point.
Wow.
So it was just like Beer Bicep and then us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think that was like a very dream come true moment, like
Wow.
for me and also like for the rest of the guys. And yeah, so at the time, of course, Tanisha, she'd be the youngest in India to chart at number 2 as well, because nobody at that age has done it at number 2. So for her, it was like 17 years and like some 300 and something days it was. Yeah, but then we never managed to get number 1 actually.
Wow.
We just,
Missed
yeah, we just missed. Like, for like, so since like that, since May till like a lot of months ahead, we were like 2, 3, 4, we were like in the top 10 continuously. And yeah, we just didn't manage to get number 1, which is still a dream for me. I want to do it for Tanisha because again, she'll become the youngest, because she's the youngest amongst us. And then eventually, in September of the same year, Beer Biceps talked about us on his podcast about
Wow.
yeah how he loves listening to our podcast and all
Really?
that. Yeah. And then of course, because he mentioned that again, the numbers went up, the views went up, and all that. And we started charting like different countries like New Zealand, Lebanon, Pakistan.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like very taken aback by this because for me it was like a real thing. Like
Absolutely.
growing up, I always wanted this. Of course, I was like old enough to understand that yeah, YouTube didn't work out for me.
Right.
But then when I did for the podcast, I was very happy, very content with like what we were doing, because I knew like yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do, because it was like I was getting everything right. I was doing what I love doing. It's my passion. Like studying psychology. I love studying psychology, you know. So it's my passion combined with like my art, which is like content creation. And
Okay.
then also like achieving my dreams through both of these, which is like charting those numbers, and like also recently like we started earning money out of the podcast. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Oh, so you monetized it.
Yeah, we monetized it in June of 2022. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Very nice.
So like for us, like the growth was a little up down, but then it was just like a very I'd say good journey. Like so much that we learned from it on the way. Yeah.
Beautiful. And being like, I know that you guys missed the first part, and I'm sure that you guys are going to be very,
I
very
really
soon.
hope.
But still, being on the second spot itself is a remarkable thing.
Yeah.
So congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
as well.
Thank you.
And I really hope that you guys are on the first.
Yeah, I really hope so too. And we recently actually got a top 10 in Pakistan as well. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. It's like trending in Pakistan for like I think 2 months now.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. So nice. Okay, so tell me, what is your end goal with all this that you've started?
See, initially when I started, my goal back then and also my end goal is the same, and that is to break the stigma around mental health in India. That's what I wholly work towards and solely work towards. I do think this way, you know, I honestly want to make a change in this world. I want to be a pioneer of social change in India.
Nice.
So, yeah, if you didn't know, I actually want to come back to India after I'm done with my studies, like entirely. I want to come back here and work towards like breaking the stigma around mental health in India specifically, because over here it's like really bad, you know.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I want to make like conversations around mental health accessible to everyone. Like I just don't want it to be specific only to like metro cities or like privileged homes, you know. I want everyone to be talking about it. So yeah, that is the end goal for me, and hopefully I achievement. Yeah.
We wish you all the best for it.
Thank you.
And this thought that you have is actually so nice because nobody really talks about mental health. If you see everyone, people are getting up in the morning, they're jogging, they're doing different exercises, they're promoting it on Instagram, but very few people are actually talking about the problems that people are going through in their mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot has to do with if you talk about it, people will start judging. Very lately have I started seeing this movement where people have started supporting you instead of judging you. If you're going through a struggle mentally, they started supporting. And I think more people should do that.
Yeah.
And through yours mentally, I think a lot will understand about it.
Yeah.
And a lot more will start talking about it more.
Yeah.
You can follow yours mentally on Spotify.
So
I think that's very common in India, no? Because we're always thinking like, कि यार अगर we go for therapy, यार वो क्या सोचेंगे?
correct.
Or like, of course, our generation is very different, and your generation is still the one that's gone through that change. But if you think about our parents' generation, I think for them it was very different. They care a lot about what society thinks about their
Absolutely.
children or them, and like they're very, very bothered about their prestige. They live too much for others than they do for themselves. So I think that's one of the main factors why a lot of people are scared to seek therapy or like tell their parents about therapy because they think that society is going to judge them. And also again, like I know it's easier said than done for me, but like I just feel at the end of the day it doesn't matter what society thinks because you have to live for yourself, right? You have to live your own life. Society is not going to live the life for you. So I think that's very important to kind of realize that and try to implement change, try to talk about it with your parents or like just whoever around you thinks that way. And also, I think another thing is that therapy and mental health is romanticized in our country because, like you said, it's not talked about, and now people are supporting it, but it's romanticized. So, like, let's say tomorrow, if I come and tell you, oh Rashika, I'm going for therapy. Ideally, your reaction will be, okay, that's good. But then in India, it's like, oh my God, you're going for therapy. That's great. It's like some exciting thing that someone's doing. It's just a normal course of life, It's like, let's say you're going to a doctor for like a physical health problem. But I'll be like, oh my God, are you going to a doctor for like physical health? That's, I don't know, people you usually don't react that way. So I think the same for mental health. Yeah.
Especially now when the environment is changing, so many things happening in and around life, health-wise, even physical health, it takes a toll on your mind.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I think the change is coming, and for that change, I think yours mentally is placed at the very right time.
Yeah.
Alright, so you said Tanisha works on the topics.
Yeah.
So tell me something about what kind of topics do you all come up with, or how do you come up with these topics?
So we come up with topics. So we've got like a list of topics. I think the list is like 100 topics now.
Okay.
Yeah, and like the 85 that are out, not including that. So like excluding that, we have like more 100 topics. So what Tanisha does is she like researches about new things that come up like in the mental health and psychology field and like just something that's pertaining, in the current times. Like recently we did an episode called Men's Enmeshment with Their Mothers in the South Indian context.
Okay.
To simply break that down is like in Asia, a lot of boys are like mama's boy. That's what they're termed, right? So we did like an episode around that. So just these relevant things that either is like happening right now, like people are talking about it, or like something that's relevant but nobody's talking about it. That's basically how we come up with our topics. And there's also things that are interesting to us and something that we can learn from, because as much as we're doing it for others, we're also doing it for ourselves, right? We want to learn from it, we want to grow from this podcast as well. So that's how we choose our topics. So.
Beautiful thought. So Aman, at your age, what I've usually seen that youngsters have a lot of great thoughts, thoughts and ideas that can make a lot of difference. But at a young age, you know how everybody is. Everybody is like, it's my time to have fun. This may be not the time and place where I need to really struggle for something. But you guys have started. You guys had a thought and you started implementing it, and the growth that you've told yourself. So how did you start with this? What was your passion? What got you through this?
Right, so for me essentially it was like my love for psychology, right? But then I was also at the same time thinking that, I am studying psychology, do my UG, do my PG, do job, earn money, die. I think that's literally how I thought of it, right? I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want my life to be that way, So I was like, I want to do something. I want to like combine my like passion for psychology with like my content creation, like my love for content creation, and create something like with the help of like combining both of them, right?
Correct.
So I think that's when like making a podcast came into the idea. Like that's the whole ideation behind, you know, starting a mental health podcast essentially. And for me, it was like already done YouTube before, failed at it. I was like, you know what, let's try the podcast. Worst thing is we fail from it, and what I believe is like you always learn from your failures, right? Like even if it teaches you nothing at all, it definitely teaches you what not to do, right?
Correct.
That's one basic thing that it would like kind of teach you. So I think that was like one of the main you know, things behind it. And also for me it was just more about like making a change, you know. Like I could have very well started a podcast with like 4 or 5 friends just chatting about anything.
Correct.
Like, you know, that's what a lot of people do. But for me it was very important to know that what I create should be impactful on a psychosocial level.
Absolutely.
Like I don't think anyone would like kind of learn something by just hearing me and my 4 friends talk about like life, college, you know, all of that stuff. Like
Absolutely.
people wouldn't like, you know, be like, oh my god, this is like mind blowing, this is life changing. They wouldn't do that. Like unfortunately not, you know. So I was like, you know what, I want to create something where people are like listening and they're learning. I don't want to like selfishly just do something just for myself. Like that's not something I would want to do. So that's when I was like, you know what, I want to do the podcast like for people and for India more specifically.
So now that we've understood that what has gotten you going, let's talk a little bit about your podcast. So there was this 77th episode of yours, which spoke about what is overthinking with the psychologist Sanam Devi Dasani. There was a question in the podcast that was asked to her, which was,
Overthinking is a personality trait that's like inbuilt in people, or does it happen because of lifestyle or certain environmental triggers?
I don't think it's a personality trait. So overthinking is a behavior, right? So I don't think it's a personality trait. I do think that the environment can be a big contributor to overthinking because, like, you know, for example, the amount of information that we're taking in right now, right, from so many different places, from the people we're meeting, from Instagram, from the news and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So all of these things, they could, you know, take the form of stressors, and overthinking is basically something that comes out of stress and anxiety.
Right.
Yeah.
can you share your thoughts or learning on it?
I think personally, I think that yeah, environment is like a very big trigger for it because, you know, it's the people you surround yourself with would essentially that would trigger overthinking. Like tomorrow, let's say you believe a lot in yourself and what you're doing, but then if I'm coming telling you, no, you know, Rashika, that's not right, you know, you should probably consider changing your career and all of that, you'll be like, okay, that's one person. And if your parents are telling you the same thing, I think the primary people that you talk to, like the ones who are the closest to you, who you really, I'd say, love or like care for, if they are the ones who kind of think against what you are doing, I think that's a very big factor that triggers overthinking, because then you start thinking that, you know, these are the people who care for me, and if they're the ones who are like telling me to kind of consider like change or something, maybe I should like change. I think that's one of the biggest learnings that I took back from that episode, that, you know, environment is a very big factor, and also I think school is a very big factor, and just in India, if you go to see, there's like very negative motivations, you know, the teachers will probably like shout at you and they're like, oh, only if we shout at you you'll do better, but
Correct.
like I think in the long term they're not looking at it that shouting at children is not doing it any better. It's like just making it worse for them in the long term, because you're like kind of scaring them, right?
Correct.
So it could probably like, instead of making things better, it could just make them worse than what they already are.
Absolutely.
So I think these things, and then in a way, then when the teacher shouts at you like, oh, you're nothing but a failure, it kind of makes you doubt your own capabilities. And that also kind of makes you overthink in the long run. And then that's why whenever you go forward in life, you're like, yeah, okay, I'll give you like an example. Let's say you're like not good at math, you know, and then your teacher is like, yeah, you're gonna fail if you don't study, and then you're just going to think like for all your life that, you know, yeah, I'm probably not good at it, and you're just going to start thinking, what will I do with my life, and just all those thoughts that keep coming. And it's because of, you know, the teacher that you really thought, like, who you consider your guru. Like in India, we consider our teachers as our gurus, right? If they're only telling you that you can't do this, I think there's just like no way forward from that. You're going to overthink those kind of things. So I think environment is a very, very big factor, and that was like a very big learning from that episode.
Beautiful. And what you said right now, it is actually true. A lot of them say that India, especially in India, because this is something that is very common in India, where our teachers do have that trait where they just don't think about it, they just scream at the child. And it is said that in India there's a lot of talent, but people just don't know about that talent and they just can't sell it. And that has so much to do with how you've been brought up, and your self-confidence has come down because teachers or your environment has put that thought in your mind that you are not capable of doing something. So this is something that should change.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I also think it's also privilege, right? Like, not everyone has the privilege of being like, okay, yeah, my teacher has like shouted me. I can go home and then I have like supportive parents or like a supportive environment. Not everyone has that kind of privilege. I was fortunate that I did, but like I said, not everyone has that privilege. Some people do sometimes have to give in and kind of, they kind of do actually take in, like if the teacher's like, you can't do it, they probably accept it. They won't go home and like tell their parents, because for all you know, the parents are going to be like, हाँ teacher ने सही तो बोला है, तू नहीं कर सकता ये, something like that. So I think that's very important. We live in like a very ableist world.
Correct.
So yeah, I think that's a very big privilege, is like a very big point which I never shy away from. I always accept that it's because of my privilege that I'm even being able to run the podcast. I don't think if I lived in a tier 3 or a tier 4 city, I don't think I would be able to do this, because over there people don't know the concept of mental health, and just the life over there is like so different, and their environment, the way they've been brought up is so different. They don't think of mental health as the least of their concerns.
Correct.
I think the majority of their concern is like, how do we like move forward in life and what can we do? Like, I don't know if you're aware, but like in a lot of tier 3, tier 4 cities, their main goal is to do UPSC. Mental health is the least of our concerns. And I agree. I was like, because they're, for them it's like, okay, my parents are like in this city, I don't want this life, how's the better way out? And क्योंकि उनको बचपन से condition किया कि government job is the way, they want that. So it's also like the environment, like again the environment, right? And also like the privilege that really kind of is the barrier, I'd say.
True, very true. Aman, you've said that there's no other podcast that's working on mental health, especially in India.
I hope, yeah.
But is there anybody else who's catering anywhere close to mental health?
There are a few podcasts. I'd say Ranveer, Beer Biceps. He does a few episodes around mental health and just, neuroscience and all of that. But if you ask me specifically what we do, I don't think so. I know there have been like a few people who like tried to copy what we've done, but like they just stopped doing the podcast eventually, like after 4 to 5 episodes and all of that. But no, close to what we're doing, no, none that I know of. But there are podcasts that talk about mental health, like just them talking about mental health. There's actually a podcast from the South called Yours Positively.
Okay.
She's doing something around mental health, and she's doing very well actually. She's doing very, very well for like the work that she's doing. Yeah.
So you were saying that Tanisha helps you in getting all these specialists and mental health professions. So is there any specific therapist that you all look out for?
We're honestly open to any therapist as long as they're passionate about what they're doing and they have the same vision as us. Because till now, every therapist that I've worked with, literally all of them, all the Indian ones of course, and just Asian, let's say in the Asian subcontinent, all of their aim is to break the stigma around mental health.
Okay, nice.
Because I know if they wanted to earn money, they wouldn't even stay in India. Because I'm not sure if you know, but therapists in India don't get paid anything. And being a therapist in India, it's impossible for you to live in like a metro city. Impossible. You cannot afford the rent and your own expenses and everything. It's just you don't get paid enough. You have to like probably settle in some other city, or like again, like if you're like privileged, then you live with your parents and then that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I know most of them over here are like working towards breaking the stigma around mental health, making conversations around mental health more accessible in India.
The awareness is actually very important in India.
Yeah.
True that. So, Aman, if any of these therapists want to get in touch with you, to be a part of your,
Mhm.
how can we get in touch with you?
Oh, through email or through our Instagram, but
Okay.
email more because like that's what we check on a more regular basis. Yeah.
You can follow yours mentally on Instagram.
Okay. So what is your next plan with your podcast? Do you have any idea of how you're going to scale this?
I'm
Go with
not
the
the
flow.
right person to ask that. I honestly just look at what I'm doing, right, which is hosting the episodes.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we do plan on scaling the podcast more. We do want to do in the future, near future, we'd love to do like workshops and
Nice.
we'd also want to just kind of extend our run not only to podcast, probably start like video format episodes and probably a newsletter and all those things. Just making it more accessible. But one of the main goal is to probably start a Hindi version of the podcast. Because somebody
Majority of
because we live in India, right? So somebody told me at around like 2021 or 2022, one of my relatives actually, you know how relatives are, like they'll talk to you for like what you're
So
doing.
true.
So they were like, you should probably do like a Hindi podcast because your goal is to make mental health more accessible to people in India, right? And majority of India speaks Hindi. They
Correct.
don't speak English. Like I cannot and I remember this very clearly. The example that my relative gave me is like, अगर तेको पान वाले को therapy भेजना है तो कैसे भेजेगा? उसको English में बोलेगा, उसको कुछ समझेगा ही नहीं. So I was like, yeah, he's got a point,
True.
So I think that's one of the biggest goal for me, like in the short term, is to start like a Hindi version of this podcast.
Nice. Okay. So there's another episode that I want to speak to you about.
Yeah.
It was about dissociation and memory loss.
Yeah.
Give us just about this episode.
So this episode was very, I'd say, descriptive, like very informative in a way, Everything I heard in the episode, I was just like, wow, this is the first time I'm hearing this. Because like other episodes I do, I still have like a little bit of idea of what I'm doing. And I thought the same with this episode because we all know about dissociation, right?
Yeah.
Like at some point in our life, all of us must have dissociated. So I was like, I know everything. That's how I went into the episode. Like not with that attitude, of course, but like I was like, yeah, I know what dissociation is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can speak. But like the entire episode I was like silent because I was just learning everything she was saying. So this episode was just learning about what dissociation is in a lot of detail, I wouldn't I'm not the right person to really explain it because she's explained it very, very well. I don't know if you've heard the episode, but she has explained it really well about how a lot of people who are an example is let's say someone is daydreaming, but they would wrongly term that also as dissociation. So she kind of explains what exactly dissociation is, why it happens, how it happens, when it happens, and all of those kind of things. And also talking about dissociative identity disorder. It used to be known as multiple personality disorder.
Correct.
So she talks about that in detail and just a lot of other things, Whoever's listening, I think you all should listen to the episode. A lot to learn from it for, I'm sure, a lot of things that you probably would have never heard because I had never heard so many of the things on that episode. So yeah, you can check that out.
Great. Now we've understood that your episodes cater to a lot of new things that people can understand about mental health. Of course, it also has about a lot of things that we know but we don't address. Alright, so what all channels is yours mentally present on?
So it's probably on 30 plus directories.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I probably wouldn't remember the name of all, but to name the few ones that are very known as Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Ghana, JioSaavn, all of these directories, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Alright. So tell me, if people want to subscribe to your podcast, what is the way? How can they get notified every time there's a new episode that's coming up?
So Spotify actually has a notification button now for podcasts. So you can just follow and then press notify and then that's how you get notified. And the same is with Apple Podcasts. Over there also you just subscribe and turn on the notifications and you get the notifications for when new episodes come out. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so Aman, with that, all my questions are over. So that brings us to the end of the first part of the session. Now is my second part of the session, which is my favorite part of the session, which is the rapid fire round. All right.
Excited.
All right, I'm excited for the rapid fire round. So before we start the rapid fire round, can I have the start music, please? All right. So Aman, are you ready for your rapid fire?
Yes.
All right. Your first question. Which brand are you totally crazy about?
It's perfumes really. So
Okay.
Paco Rabanne is a perfume that I really like using that, yeah.
Okay. Are you someone who likes things planned or spontaneous?
Spontaneous for sure. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What is that one thing that drives you?
The motivation to make change in India, honestly, that's what drives me.
Okay. Are you an active person or you like things more calmer and subtle?
Calm and subtle. Yeah.
One thing that you do when you feel disappointed,
I usually listen to music.
and one thing that you do when you smell chaos in life.
I call Tanisha.
Nice.
Yeah, she's like my moral conscience. Yeah.
Nice. So, what do you do when you feel bored?
I usually don't feel bored and
Really?
yeah,
That's nice.
I
That's a
don't
nice trait.
because I know like like my entire day I'm doing something or the other. There's never like a point where I'm just lying down and like, oh, I'm bored. No, there's never a time because I'm coming back from college. I'm doing my work. I'm meeting my friends. I'm eating food. I'm studying, and then it's the same thing over. So I'm not really bored. But like there ever comes a time where like there's nothing to do at all. Then I'm just like, you know what? Let's do something that I hate doing, which is editing.
One favorite food joint in Bombay.
I'd say Babu, not dosa.
Okay.
It's very good. I go there very often with my family.
Acha. Tell me that one thing that you would like to tell people to take care of their mental health.
I think always put yourself first. That's very important. We live in like a world where people are always like, ye kya sochenge? I think I should do something for that person. Always put your needs and yourself first and then think about others.
Nice. Okay. One thing that you're grateful of.
The people I'm surrounded with, and most importantly is my school psychology teacher. Yeah.
Yes.
I think without her,
she is one of your inspirations to start yours mentally.
she is. She's the reason I'm actually where I am today. I think without her I wouldn't be anywhere. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. If you had to follow one person for an entire day, who would you like to follow?
Bhuvan Bam, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like my all-time hero.
Yeah?
He's the reason I got into content creation.
Oh wow.
Yeah. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be doing content. Yeah.
So you have a lot of people that you looked up to, and then you've been starting to do what you have.
Yeah, a lot of people actually.
Nice. That is really nice. Okay. What would you choose, Nike or Puma?
Nike.
FB or Instagram?
Instagram.
Football or cricket?
Instagram. Football.
Swiggy or Zomato?
Football.
Swiggy or
Zomato.
Apple or Android?
Zomato. Apple.
Okay. Name these platforms as per your usage. Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook.
So Facebook comes to the end.
Yeah. I'm Gen Z. I don't use Facebook.
Okay. What do you think is more real? 100 failures and 1 success, or 100 success and 1 failure?
100 failures and success.
Okay, with that, we've come to the end of the rapid fire round. I had a fun time listening to all your answers. I think you've done great in this round.
Thank you. I enjoyed this as well, honestly. It was a good experience. It was the first time doing something like this, I told you, right?
Yes.
In person. So, yeah, no, I honestly enjoyed the experience. And thank you for having me, Rashika.
Thank you so much, Aman, for being here. Yeah. And on behalf of everybody and me, all the viewers, I wish you all the best. I wish all three of you all the best. And I really hope to see you guys in the first number very soon.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Great. Hi, जनता. हमारा आज का एपिसोड एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक पे था, मेंटल हेल्थ। फिजिकल हेल्थ के बारे में हर कोई ध्यान देता है, मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में हम सिर्फ बातें करते हैं, ध्यान कोई नहीं देता। इसीलिए आज का हमारे गेस्ट थे फ्रॉम योर्स मेंटली। योर्स मेंटली एक ऐसा पॉडकास्ट है जहाँ पर एपिसोड्स हमारे दिमाग की अलग अलग प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में बताते हैं और स्पेशलिस्ट उसके सॉल्यूशंस भी देते हैं। तो आज मैं आप सबको एनकरेज करती हूँ कि आप योर्स मेंटली के एपिसोड्स देखिए और समझने की कोशिश कीजिए, एंड देन टेक स्टेप्स टू इम्प्रूव योर मेंटल हेल्थ, बिकॉज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग मेंटल हेल्थ will never let you lose. So here's a tip. If you want to succeed, have a strong mind. A strong mind will never let you give up. And to not give up is our motto, right? So we will walk together, but we will not give up. We might burn in fire today, but we will shine like stars tomorrow. On that note, we'll be back with more such episodes. Till then, smile and love your journey. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. My name is Rashika from India. Namaste.